Whoops. I thought it was going to just disappear by itself. What's going on, guys? I am Simple Simon. Welcome to Collectible Show and Tell, the show where I get people to show us the things they collect besides comics. Who would have thought? All right. Before I start the show, as always, I have the links to my guests in the description below. So please make sure you check out their YouTubes, their Instagrams, show some love and show some support. And also, if you're new to the show, you're catching this for the first time, check out the description. It's got a list of all the previous episodes so you can see who I've had on, and you can check out what they have in their collections. Today, oh, yeah, Old Wolf, what's going on, mate? 7 a.m., that's right. We're catering for one of our guests today, all right? So what's going on, John? I've got some early birds. What do you guys even do at 7 a.m. in the morning, like on YouTube? Don't you have, like, jobs and things to get ready for? Anyway, today's first guest is me. What's going on? I'm back again. So I've bought a bunch of toys recently. So today's kind of just like a toy haul, a little bit of preview of what I'm going to have coming up on the channel. The next guest is a returning guest. In fact, he's returned more times than anyone besides myself. And you know, when me and him are on this show, it means things didn't go to plan. So please welcome, some say, the best statue unboxing on YouTube. Boxings on YouTube. Madspidey, what's going on?
I'm always the backup.
Yeah. How good is that? I've been practicing that intro like all night.
I want the old music back on the intro. I like the old music back on the intro.
Yeah, no, you know what? The best music I had for the intro got copyright claimed, so I've changed it a few times. But yeah, I've shaved 24 seconds off the intro, so it's only a minute 36 compared to 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
45
what's
minutes.
going on? It's my super cute uwu girlfriend Sarah dropping $2. Let's play one of these. Where am I up to on the super chat videos? All right, this is super chat video number 4. Super chat magic for you. Whoa, so magical. Yeah. There's 6 more where that came from. If you guys, 5 more where that came from. You guys want to see some more super chat videos. All right. Our next guest is making his first appearance. I've been trying to get him on for a while, but it's just he lives on the weird side of the world where it just doesn't line up with our time or anyone's time, really. Let me get the intro right. Here's your ginger Geordie geek Pete from Triple G Comics. Yeah.
Spot on. It was beautiful. Yeah,
that is a mouthful and a half.
I know. I was practicing that for a while too.
How are you doing, guys? He's well.
Yeah, doing well, mate. Doing well,
mate. We've had I've had actually a really crazy day at work today. It was out of control, so I was actually looking forward to just hanging out and just nerding out over your collections. So yeah, I'm sure you've seen the show before, Pete. So normally we do rounds, 5 rounds. Normally I have the returning guest go first, but since we've got 2 returning guests and I'm going to have the least impressive stuff today, I'm going to go first, and then we'll do the rounds. Anything in the chat before we quickly do this? Simon and Simon, yeah, could do that. Oh yeah. Whoops, you have to tell people that. All right, so let's do one of these ones. All right, so I'm going to start off with some Star Wars guy stuff. Like I said, so this week we had a special on at work because we do sell toys and stuff at work, and they had 20% of action figures. So I bought a bunch of toys from work, and also bought a bunch of places are having sales everywhere right now. So this is one of the Star Wars retro collection figures from Kenner. And I picked up this one, Ned 8, from the Obi-Wan show. I fell in love with this droid. I thought he was super cool. And you're going, Sarah, already? Okay.
Yeah, it's her bedtime.
Oh, that's right. No, it's her mum's birthday as well. They're celebrating her mum's birthday. So happy birthday, Rochelle. So yeah, I picked this up. This was clearing out for $5, right? And something Pete choked on how good a value of a deal that I got. Something I actually learned about these though, because I think in one of my videos I referred to it as the vintage collection, and then my friend was like, no, it's the retro. So the retro figures are like the toys that we had when we were younger, right? And that the articulation isn't as good and things like that. Their arms just move up and down. And then the vintage collection are the ones where same kind of packaging, but the figures are actually more articulated. They're a little more well made, I guess. Anyway, there's a cool story behind this. So this was $5, and I picked it up, like I said the other day. This is my second one. I bought one last week, and I organized it as a click and collect from the store that's near Big City Comics. So I was going to go pick up my books and then go pick this up on the way home from the shopping center. And they emailed me and they said, "Hey, we couldn't find the stock, so we can either organize for you to pick it up at another store, or we'll ship it to you for free." And I was like, "I only paid $5 for the figure. Yeah, ship it to me for free." So for those who saw my comic haul this week, you may have already know this, but I unboxed the figurine on my comic haul, and rather than sending me this that I paid $5 for, they gave me one of these bad boys. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Very
I was like, "Are you serious? You idiots. What are you doing?"
Yeah.
So these retail for about $65.
Yeah.
It was on special for like $46, but still it's a $40 value there. So and now that I am a hashtag out of box collector, I will be unboxing this in a future video. Do you got any Black Series, Pete?
I don't know. I tend to collect 1/6 scale Star Wars figures, so I've got a few of those, but I haven't got Black Series. But I've got some original vintage figures. Yeah, I love that character. Actually, he's one of the
super cool
favorites.
I unboxed my first Black Series figure in a video recently, and I really enjoyed playing with them. Like, I've been collecting for a few years now, and I just keep them in the box, and it was just a whole new experience being able to play with it. Like, it really takes you back.
Yeah.
That is
Very
my
cool.
round one.
And until you regret it when they're worth $1 million.
Yeah. So you guys for Australian dollars are double UK pound roughly. Is that what?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, sorry.
That first figure you got was what, £2.50? Remind me, that seems very, very cheap for a carded figure.
Absolutely, it was. They're clearing them out, so like, I remember seeing it a couple of weeks earlier, and I was like, I'm going to come back and get that next week, but I forgot. So I got FOMO, and I jumped on their website to just get it for $5. But yeah,
usually I think 20 over here. I think.
No, so these can range anywhere from 20 to 40 even.
Yeah.
And some of the vintage ones will go for up to 60. Like Mando was like $60 at one point. So I think they dropped it to $15. Like there was actually a $15 sticker on there. And then they're like, people still won't buy it. How about $5? And then they just like flew out the door.
Yeah, it's a steal. Yeah.
Yeah. Very happy with both of those pickups.
Bargain.
Good morning, Sean. Madspidey is officially taken over as the leading returning guest just by one. So Zaz, next time I need an emergency or a favor, I'll hit you up next. All right. We're gonna go to Madspidey. What's happening, mate? What you got?
Well, on the Better Collectible show that I actually do, no rip off here or anything like that. I have shown some of these before, but I haven't shown these particular ones. I have been doing a lot of the stuff that I collect when I go to the movies. So I know in the States they do it, not necessarily at all the chains. I don't know about UK or anything like that, but quite often you go to a lot of the comic book movies, they have like specialized popcorn tins or drink cups and stuff like that. So whenever I can, I try and get them all. When Endgame was around, there was an absolute nightmare because there was there was a lot. But I just brought two of the popcorn tins. So I've got the ones from Ant-Man and Wasp.
Very nice.
So there's the thing, and these come from Hoyt's Cinemas is one of the chains that we have here.
So I went to Hoyt's recently to see Spider-Verse, and I was
they had nothing for Spider-Verse.
Yeah, nothing, right? And then I also went to see the Flash there, and nothing. How did they not have a Flash?
Ever since COVID, like a lot of this stuff has not come back.
Right.
Which is
really? Is that how long I've had those? Because I've got two. I've got the Batman. They did like a Batman one, but it wasn't. It was like a Batman Anniversary one. So it just had like, it was like a collage of Batman comics and stuff. And then I got the Harley Quinn Birds of Prey one as well.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. So they're like, and that's the thing. Like, I think the last one I bought, they had one for Wakanda Forever. But before that, it wasn't until I think Black Widow or something was the one before that. So there's
that.
Obviously I'm not picking up the DC ones, but there's been it's been very sporadic now. Which before COVID, nearly every movie had one, or had multiple. Sometimes I'd be going there and I'd be buying a tin and a drink, or 2 tins, 2 drinks, and all that sort of stuff. So, but this one's a little bit older. This is the Black Panther one.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
From the first movie.
They're so awesome, but they're also so big, man. Like,
yeah,
they take up a lot of space.
Storage for that must be a bit of a nightmare if you've got a lot of them.
It's not too bad actually, because I've got a lot of storage tubs, but you can pretty much put them inside each other and just store the lids like separately, sort of thing. So, but yeah, they only brought 2 of those, so I'm only doing small bits and pieces.
You know what's funny? When you first did that collectible, it's just called Collectible Show. I was like, hey, man, you're 2 words off a copyright strike there. You did one with the ties. He did like comic book ties. And I was like, wow, that's...
Oh, I didn't do that in the Collectible Show. I just did that as a weird...
Oh, did you? Okay.
Sort of,
I remember when you showed that. I was like, that's cool. I was like, no one's shown comic book ties before.
I had that when I had all those ties from when I was actually doing sales, like selling computers and stuff. And we didn't have a company, or you didn't have to wear the company tie. So I was wearing comic book ties with the blue dress shirt sort of thing. And
you're giving us an idea there. So for work, I wear a lot of suits and things like that. So I've got superhero cufflinks. I've got a whole set of them. And one of the best things, I was in a big formal meeting at work, and someone leant over to us and nudged us and just said, "Hail Hydra." And I went, "What the fuck?" And then I realized I had my Hydra cufflinks on. I was like, yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
That's cool.
Ugh.
All right, Pete, what you got for round 1?
Right. So anybody that's watched my shows knows that I do a lot of stuff about my kind of stuff that I enjoyed back when I was a kid. So cartoons and things that I enjoyed. So He-Man, Thundercats, all that kind of jazz. So I started collecting action figures, so vintage figures. So this is one of my favorites. This is Skeletor from the Masters of the Universe. Did you guys watch Masters of the Universe? Are you familiar with?
Yes, very much so.
So I love these figures. I love the old figures. This one's well used. It's dirty. But it's a vintage, and I love it. So Skeletor, one of my favorite characters. As I got a bit older and I had a bit more money behind us, I started moving from these size figures to the 1/6 scale versions. So this is by Mondo Collectibles, who are a company that do posters mainly. And I think they've just bought the license to Funko Pop, so they've taken over Funko or something.
Really?
Or Funko's bought them one way or the other.
I think it'd be Funko bought them.
Yeah, Funko's bought them. Yeah. But these 1/6 scale figures are absolutely stunning. The articulation on them is great. Skeletor's mouth is movable. You get all kinds of different bits and bobs, and you get his Havoc staff and things. They're just really nicely well detailed figures. I've hummed and hawed because I know Madspidey. I know you're a big statue collector. I've never really known whether I go into statues or figures. So I've kind of leaned towards figures more recently.
I think that's a safer bet and a better for your hip pocket, because I've seen some of the He-Man ones that have come out of Sideshow. They are fantastic looking, but super, super expensive.
Yeah, I saw one a while ago. I think it was a Skeletor on his throne.
Yeah,
and I think it was nigh on £1,000 so it'd be $2,000 or whatever.
Yeah,
I just thought,
that would have been one of the premium scale ones.
I think have you been to Aaron's? You've been to Aaron's. We've gone to Aaron's, right?
Yeah.
They've got like a life-size Skeletor bust there.
Yeah, that's the 1-to-1 scale. That looks fantastic, but that's not a pretty. That's a pretty penny too.
Yeah. Expensive toys. But yeah, I love these. I've got a lot of the Mondo figures now. Just ordered a Battle Cat, which is stunning. So can't wait for that to arrive.
So that first one you showed, was that the original vintage ones here? Yeah.
So that's the original release. I've got about 30 original He-Man figures in a Castle Grayskull. Haven't got a Snake Mountain yet. I want a Snake Mountain.
How do you feel about how they're doing or re-releasing them all in the retro sort of series?
I don't mind. I mean, part of the I don't know what you guys are like, but part of the fun for me is the hunt. I like the hunt, so I like going to toy fairs, car boots, all that kind of jazz, and buying these. But if you haven't got time to do that, and you haven't got, because these are pretty, they're not madly expensive. This is maybe what $40 maybe I paid for this, but you can get the new retro ones for much cheaper, can't you? So I think it's nice, and anything that keeps the franchise alive, anything that keeps He-Man in people's minds, for me, is a winner. So yeah, love these.
And most of the new iterations of He-Man, like the new cartoon series and that, are not necessarily to a vintage style person's point of view. A lot of them are like, that looks horrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I remember I had a lot of He-Man figures, but I remember the one specifically I had where you could twist his body and you put like the cap gun round in his back. So when he punches, it would make like the thing.
Is that Fisto?
No, that's
it.
So
He-Man.
yeah, Fisto's an interesting character. Yeah, Thunder Punch He-Man was kind of He-Man with a metal harness on. I think,
I remember, I think it was Moss Man actually had like that, the green sort of furry stuff that you could almost prickle your fingers with. And
you know, they were really innovative back in the day, because if you got, I mean, there was Moss Man, obviously, like you say, but there was also one called Skunko, who was a skunk. Stinko, yeah.
Yeah, I remember. He actually had that weird smell on him. Yeah,
the figure stunk. Do you know what I mean? It was weird, but yeah, very cool.
What's going on, Lee? What's happening, mate?
Whack Daddy.
And Norman Rad. I have not seen. I've seen a lot of those battle cats around recently, though. But sometimes they're missing. Like, I think we saw it at a toy fair recently that was missing the saddle and stuff. And, what's going on?
I had so many when I was a kid as well. Like everybody, and then they magically disappear. Yeah. Like either your parents give them away or they get thrown out, and you know it's.
Yeah, I think because I know my brother inherited a lot of my toys. My older brother inherited my toys.
Inherited or stole?
He stole. I don't know. I can't remember seeing any of my He-Mans in his collection though, because I definitely had a big collection of He-Man toys. Mm-hmm. All right. That's your round, mate?
Yep.
Skeletor action. All right. I'm gonna be a bit boring. Because I got another round of Star Wars, so I'm just gonna get that out of the way, and then we'll move on to other franchises. So like I said, I bought a bunch of toys from work. These, look at the receipt. I can tell you how much I paid for these. So these are Black Series figurines, and I paid. Oh my god, I paid like $9 for them, pretty much. Because they were at work, they were on clearance, so we marked them down drastically to clear them out, and then I got a further 20% off because I'm staff as well. So I got Bo-Katan.
Oh, nice.
You know what? That face looks pretty good from here.
Yeah.
When I look at it it looks good from afar, but then when I was looking it up close, I was like, oh, is that face good? When I'm looking at it on my webcam, it looks really good. It looks better than when it does when I'm actually looking at it in front of my eyes. Maybe because my eyes aren't as good as the webcam. But how can you turn that down for like $9, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
very cool.
Yeah, because most of the Black Series retail for about 40 over here.
When they're new, yeah, absolutely. So they dropped these on sale, added 20%, and then I got 20% off the staff price or something like that. So yeah, and I love so I bought the I didn't buy Chip Getler. I won one of these off him, and because he unboxes them on his channel, I thought, you know what, I'll pay homage to him and unbox this Black Series toy he sent me. And I love how the helmets go on and stuff like that. Like, really cool. And the other one I picked up was also from Obi-Wan, like Ned B over there, is the fifth brother, Inquisitor. I thought he was pretty cool in the show. He was very. Do you watch Rebels? Any of you?
No, I haven't seen Rebels.
No. So I didn't know anything about the Inquisitors until the Obi-Wan show sort of came along. But I thought this dude was pretty menacing. His super deep voice. So again, this is something that I kind of thought he was cool when I first saw this figure. I was like, I was going to pay $40 for it, right? But for $9, it was the perfect opportunity to score.
For $9, you wouldn't care what character it is. You just
buy it. Yeah.
My mate was trying to get me to buy more. He's like, "Oh, you need another droid. And I was like, I don't need every droid. Oh, here we go. Here comes another video. Thanks, Lee. Let's do the next super chat video. We're up to number 5, which is actually taken from a Whack Comics video, but here we go. Super chat, baby. Yeah. Thanks, Lee.
Copyright from Mike Myers.
All right. Big Trouble in Little China reminded me here. Okay, Big Trouble. I wouldn't mind getting some Big Trouble in Little China collectible stuff. I've got the pops. I've got the 3 dudes and I got the glow in the dark Lopan as well.
So there's
not much of it.
No, there's a Sideshow 1/6 scale figure, but it's obscenely expensive, like $800.
Oh, the hot toys one.
Jack.
Yeah. It's very hard to get.
Jack Burton. All right, so I might as well continue with my movie themed stuff. I did mention Endgame was very, very painful for the hip pocket, and it was literally like, as I said, there's 2 main cinema chains over here. There's Hoyt Cinemas and Village Cinemas, but there is another one called Reading Cinema as well. But we hit all 3, and I got like an absolute bucket load of stuff. But they did actually bring out a pile for, these were for Infinity War, and these ones are actually from Infinity War. They brought out a whole pile of these little cute popcorn tins.
Oh, it's popcorn tin. Do you know what the hell it was? It's a popcorn tin.
So it's literally just a big empty sort of thing as a little popcorn tin. But they brought out a whole pile of them.
It looks like MODOK cosplaying as Iron Man.
Yeah. So I brought a
Thanos
one, and he's even you got the
gauntlet.
He's got the gauntlet on.
Oh, I love that.
So yeah, like there was a whole.
I've never seen those.
There was like, I think 6 or 7 of them or something like that. But then they did bring out some later for, I think, for Ant-Man and Wasp, and for maybe Black Panther as well, I think. But yeah, these were kind of cool and kind of cute, and I'm like, yeah, it's got to get them all.
Do you just have how many did you have?
Of these, I think I got about 8 or 10 or something like that. Something cool. Like that.
They're not as cool as the Hoyt's tins, but you know.
No, but it was something a bit different.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah,
like the drink containers can be pretty, like, you know, the designs can be cool, but they're pretty much just a drink container. But sometimes they do something a little bit different. But yeah, the popcorn tins are the same. It's pretty much just a movie poster on a tin most of the time. But at least with these, it's something a little bit different.
I love that Thanos one. It's superb.
When you go to the movies, do you ask him? Do you get the popcorn in it?
No, I usually don't. Unless I ask the missus, I usually say, do you actually want to take popcorn in? And if she says no, then I'll just ask it for without.
Yeah, they pressure me into getting popcorn in it. Like every time I'm like, can I just get the tin without the popcorn? They're like, it's just the same price. I'm like, yeah, but I just want the tin. Yeah, but they'll be like, yeah, but it's just
yeah.
Like,
they say the same to me. It's like,
and it's the only difference is I don't like I'll eat popcorn, but I don't really. I'm not a big popcorn guy.
Yeah.
But they'll put the popcorn in it, and then I've got to wash the thing afterwards. That's the only thing.
Or the other thing is, you're like, okay, I'll eat, a little bit, and you like have half of the thing still sitting in there when the movie's finished, and you got to remember not to just throw the whole thing in the bin. You got to just tip the popcorn out or carry it around with you. So it's like, nah.
Yeah, pain in the ass. I'm sorry, Lee. Actually, took me a second to actually realize that you wrote $2 shits. It's pretty funny. All right, Pete, what you got?
Okay, so a couple of items, and one of my other loves is horror. I don't know, are you guys horror movie fans?
Yeah,
I was earlier in the day. I still don't mind them, but I'm not as big as what I was when I was a kid.
I quite like. There's a good convention I go to quite often in the UK, HorrorCon, which is good fun. I picked up one of these a while ago. So this is from Hellraiser.
Hellraiser,
Irritating thing about this is it does come apart, but can a bugger work out how to do it? It doesn't come with instructions.
Oh, what?
So
it's a puzzle box.
Yeah, so the guy showed us how to do it, and then because I'm very old, I forgot straight away, and now I spend a lot of time fannying on trying to
like a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, but it literally doesn't. It's solid, so I don't understand. Fuck it.
So
I don't know.
do you just turn the pieces yourself, or are you supposed to press a button and it fully?
I don't know, Simon. I don't know. I've literally pressed and pushed and squeezed every inch of the frigging thing, and nothing moves or does anything. But I've seen it come apart. I was there when he did it, so I don't know. Anyway, so that's that. I collect dolls. Chucky. This is Pizza Face Chucky.
That's pretty brutal.
Which has got some.
That looks wicked.
So it's got voice chip and all that kind of stuff. I just love the detail on its face. It's very cool. So yeah, picked that one up a little while ago. My favorite piece, big fan of Bruce Campbell from Evil Dead. So this is I don't know if you guys are familiar with these. Yeah, so this is the Necronomicon from the Evil Dead prop. And it's got all the different images and pages and things inside it. Desperate to get Bruce Campbell to sign that. Who made that? Can you remember? Trick or Treat Toys, I think. Okay. Yeah. Have you seen the new Evil Dead? Yeah. Is it good? I heard it was good. It's not fun like the previous ones. Well, okay. Well, you know, it's more horror. But I enjoyed it. It was very gory. Because I remember the original Evil Dead being scary. Yeah. And then I showed my friends, I was like, watch this, guys. It's like the scariest movie I've seen. And they thought it was a comedy and they were laughing the whole time. Yeah.
But like a lot of horror movie franchises is the first one's usually the scariest and then it just becomes more comedy as they go along. Yeah. I think they very much lent into, certainly by Evil Dead 2, they lent into the kind of the silliness of it, you know. And Bruce Campbell really played that up brilliantly, I thought. But yeah, I enjoy those movies, and that the new version is very gory and it's got some funny bits in it and things. And is it scary? Yeah, I think it's there's some pretty rough bits in it. Yeah, there's a bit with I don't know if you, well, I presume you guys have cheese graters over your. There's a bit with a cheese grater which is a little bit rough. And someone's hair is a bit rough as well. But yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. Can I just have one more look at that the Hellraiser cube? Yeah, because I've seen videos of things like that and they look awesome when they just like Does it need to be charged or does it run off a battery or anything? No, it's just it's a solid lump, really. It's just and I can see the gaps in the flaming thing where I think I meant to push and stuff, but yeah, right. It's good. It's nice fun. Just go on YouTube. Somebody would have opened it or something. Yeah. Maybe it's safer if we just kept it unopened. So, all right, very good. My next one is I know you're not really a Star Wars guy, are you, Spidey? I like Star Wars, but I'm not I'm not a collector or anything. Okay, cool. Well, this is more up your alley, right? So I bought these figurines, and again, I bought these with all intentions to open them, which is not what I normally do. But I've got 3 figurines from the new Spider-Verse. Nice. Yeah. So they released the Marvel Legends versions of these when the first Spider-Verse movie came out, and I've only got the Gwen from that series. I really wanted to get the Peter at the time because, you know, Peter Parker kind of had like the dad body. He kind of was like the Peter Parker I could relate to. So I wanted to get that one and I didn't do it. I didn't get the Miles, and now the Miles is like double retail. So I don't want to pay $80 a Miles. So I thought, you know what? I'll get this Miles. And I literally have been just watching all these people do videos of these things recently. And now it's all that comes up on Instagram is all these toy photographer people. And they do such cool things with these. Like people will like literally have clothes. I don't even know where they get them from, but they'll add like, so there's a guy who's got like, there's all these people posting photos with a Miles Morales jacket on these. I was like, well, it didn't come with the figurine. So where'd you get it from? This is the Gwen. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Yeah, it looks good. The mask head actually looks really good. Like I know it's a very plain face, but I like the sort of the shape of the like the hoodie and stuff like that.
You know what? This looks okay, but you know what scares me about these things? I hate. So if they had like Miles, it's just a decapitated head sitting in the fucking packaging. I don't like that. It just freaks me out. Like, at least that just looks like the mask. You know, that is a decapitated
So
head.
you think it should have been the other way around? He should have been unmasked
I don't
and
like
then.
the decapitated heads in the box. And then I got this one, which
It's
actually
called a floating head. Don't you remember the Marvel books and DC books from the
that's cool.
70s?
That's very cool.
I knew you had to get a Spider-Punk.
Well, so get this right. So I really want the original Marvel Legends Spider-Punk, but it's too much money. It's just I'm not going to pay that price for it. I didn't like this when I first saw the figurine, but then I saw the movie and I was like, well, he kind of does look like this. Like he's got that. See how, he looks like a stick figure, right?
Yeah, he's very gaunt, I suppose, as you could
Now
call it.
have you either of you seen the movie?
I haven't seen it yet. No.
Okay. So he's unmasked for a lot of it, right? And you know, Pete, he's got the big dreads and all that, right? So they don't have a head in this, right? Like these guys do. They've got their heads. So I've been looking, all these videos have been coming up, and all these people have been posting this dude, some of them with these cool pants, and heaps of people have been posting this with unmasked, with the head and the dreads. I was like, wait a sec, that didn't come with the figurine. So the more I looked into it, people have 3D printed his head and stuck it on there and painted it, and it looks so good. But I'm like, how can so many different people have done this? Like,
there's actually, like, I was actually talking to Katie, K-pop junkie. Like we've actually talked about it quite a bit. Like, there's a massive lot of people now that actually do modifications for action figures.
Like there's a Jin who goes to Big City. Have you ever met Jin? He shops at Big City Comics, right? And
maybe
he's the guy who he painted Mark's aliens gun. But what he does it as a hobby, right? He actually
Mark and I talked about him the other week.
He's a really cool dude. But like, you should see some of the stuff he did. Like, he wanted to I don't know if you know, but there's Red Death, which is like the Flash from the Metal universe, right? So they don't have a figurine of that. So he bought like a Reverse Flash, fully painted it up, and did it and made it look just like Red Death. It looks sick. So I actually want to do a video with him one day, because I'll probably eventually get him to modify my aliens gun, and I would like to maybe check out just his collection of what he does, because he doesn't do it to sell. I was like, man, you could sell these and make coin off this stuff that you do, because you'll make big dioramas for his figurines as well. It's super cool.
I think Mark was telling me he did some stuff for one of his Terminator figures and a few other bits and pieces that he's had.
But he'll build like full like diorama stage things for his figures, and they look so good. So all right, I've babbled on. Spidey.
No, you've already been to me. Or have you not been to me?
No.
I'm losing track of where we're going. Don't mind me. The other thing, if you've watched once again my collectible show, we're getting off the movie train thing now. Is I like to collect the Hallmark ornaments. Which obviously only the Marvel ones. So I brought a few ones that I actually haven't shown on my channel before. So you got the Hulk. From Ragnarok, and he's get up from the arena. We have, what's this one from? So Hulk versus Ultron. So that's from Age of Ultron. And what they basically do is every single year they will bring out a range of Hallmark things, usually sort of August, September, when you can start pre-ordering them for Christmas. So they'll actually have years as well, because they won't release multiple ranges. They'll just release one range, but there'll be Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Disney, Looney Tunes. Like, they pretty much cover, like, Harry Potter. They'll cover a wide range of fandoms, pretty much. So there's pretty much at least something for everybody out there. And the last one is, even though it's probably more comic based. It's not actually sort of movie based, but
that's good.
There is a Thor one.
That's a good question, Norenrad. Do they have chases?
Occasionally.
Oh, really?
I've only come across. There was a Captain Marvel one when the Captain Marvel movie came out, where it literally had like a picture of her in black and white, and then it would have a question mark on it. So you actually there was only two different. There was just a standard one and I can't remember what the other version was. But you literally had to it was like potluck whether you could actually get the chase. But they even do like San Diego Comic-Con exclusives for this, because I've actually got a Gwen one that actually comes in a black box. That's a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. So
nice.
but yeah, like some of them actually get very pricey, because like they go back as far as I think late 80s or early 90s.
Really?
And some of them, like, they're not like thousands of dollars or whatever like that, but for something that's usually anywhere between $20 to $50 when they're brand new, like some of them are going for hundreds because you just can't find them anymore.
Yeah.
So
very cool.
That's what happens.
Are they what are they made of? Are they porcelain or are they?
No, they're only like a plastic sort of mold,
Okay.
but there are a couple of different ranges now. Like they never used to be. It used to be just like one type of range, one sort of scale, and it was just made out of, like almost like a polystone / plastic sort of mold. So it had a little bit of weight, but not, because obviously they've got to be able to sit on the tree without pulling the branch down.
Yeah.
But they used to do one range. Now they actually do like a basic range. So it's pretty much just a red box, but it's got an open window at the front with just a sort of a smaller version. Yeah. Then they have these, and then they have the premium versions. And the premium versions are generally got quite a bit of weight, and they're like twice the price of these. But they've actually got a little bit of sort of like heavy material.
Yeah.
That,
I've got a couple of DC ones. I don't think they're Hallmark. I think they were from the Warner Brothers store. And it's I've got a Batman punching a present which is opened, and it's got the Joker's head coming out. And then Superman. Do you remember that classic Alex Ross Superman tale he did where he's carrying the great big red bag on his back?
Yep.
I've got that one as well. I think they're porcelain or something.
Yeah, like I know, Disney shop and the Warner Brothers shop back in the day did actually used to do their own ornaments as well. But yeah, they were very pricey, because a lot of them were made out of porcelain, and they were just, there's no way in hell you'd hang them on a tree, because they're just too fragile.
Yeah.
So that's why these ones are sort of good, because they're sort of collectible, and you get a good decent range, and they're not overly expensive.
Very cool. Yeah.
Very good. What do we got, mate?
Right. So again, going back to my childhood, see if any of you recognize any of these. Got two of these to show off. Anybody know what these are?
Mask,
Love Mask. So this is one of my favorite toys when I was a kid. This is Condor. If you're not familiar with Mask, it's the Mobile Armored Strike Command.
Oh, very good.
K doesn't really make sense, but anyway. So these are basically vehicles, transformers. So this is Condor, like I say, which is a motorbike, which transforms into a helicopter. Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, see,
I had the red Camaro. I had.
Yeah.
I had Mask toys. I love the Mask cartoon, but I just don't remember anything about it. The truck, I remember the truck.
Rhino rig. Yeah. I love them. They were really cool toys for playing with back in the day. I mean, this is a very old one. This has got some issues with it. The side's broken slightly there, unfortunately. But yeah, I just love them. Good fun to play with. They've been in a few comic series. I'm really spoilers. Anybody seen the latest Transformers movie?
No, but I want to. No one wants to see it with me.
Okay, well, I'll pop over. I'll say it again. I'm not going to spoil it then, but there's a great bit at the end, which leads into me hoping that we see Mask in the future on the cinema. So yeah, I love these toys. I wish they'd do like a retake of these. I'd like to see, because I don't think they've ever really kind of re-released these, or no big companies.
Not that I've ever heard of. Like you can buy the animated series on like DVD, Blu-ray, and stuff like that. But that's about the only thing that they've actually done any further than the original line.
I used to love Mask as a kid, but I literally just can't remember anything about it. Didn't the dude? Wasn't there a kid as the main character?
Yeah,
and he had like a little R2D2 sort of mate.
T-Bob. Yeah, it was like a little egg with arms and legs.
Yeah. I just barely remember anything from, but I used to love it as a kid.
But Mask, I mean, and again, this is just my age. Maskers are one of those series, those classic series from the 80s that's got one of the best theme tunes ever.
I love that theme song.
80s cartoon theme tunes. Mask, Ulysses. Anybody watch Ulysses?
Yeah, I remember Ulysses. Yeah.
Proper. And I didn't. There was a show called Defenders of the Earth. Flash Gordon.
Oh yeah, I've got the box set.
I didn't realize Stan Lee wrote the theme tune to that, and it's an absolutely banging theme tune. Yeah, it's stunning. Yeah. So that's Mask. I've got about 7 or 8 Mask vehicles and toys and figures, and I just love them. I love them. Yeah. But again, these are ones that I like to go hunting for. I try to resist buying stuff off eBay, and I go to comic cons and toy fairs and things. And if I see any of these little things, I pick them up straight away. So that's Mask.
When you go to toy fairs over there, like, what's the pricing like?
It's not bad. A lot of the ones that I go to are kind of local toy fairs, so it's not big named. I don't know what your comic cons are like over in your neck of the woods, but comic cons have become big business, so they're kind of they're ran by big corporations and stuff.
Yeah, your MCM London.
Yeah,
London
MCM.
That's massive.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. So it's already very, very expensive. Whereas I prefer to go to locally run in a sports hall or a school kind of.
Yeah, I definitely love those sort of ones as well.
Yeah. And that's where I get all this kind of stuff, all these figures.
We actually have one this weekend, which is sort of done in like a town hall sort of thing. Or
I was going to go. I literally was going to go, but then I bought all these toys this week, so I'm not going anymore.
I can't afford to go this one as well. But yeah, like. It's actually a mate of mine who runs it, and it's actually the guy who I get all my pop vinyls from. He actually has a shop that
does he run it?
Vinyls. Yeah, Andrew runs it.
Okay.
So, but it's classified as a vintage toy and collectibles fair, and literally that is what it is. You'll just see tables, and it's just full of all loose figures and all that sort of stuff. And
it frustrates me, and I'm going to sound like a right old miserable bugger, but near me in Newcastle, there is a comic con, and it's a big named con and all the rest of it. And I used to go to it, and there would be like one comic seller, and then everything else would be people selling fudge and cakes and crap. Do you know what I mean? No comics, just one seller. And then I went to a nearby a vintage car fair, so die-cast cars. I thought I'd pop in and have a look, and it was wall-to-wall comics and action figures. And I couldn't get my head around why, but it's because they're charging so much for these big cons for the stalls and things like that it blocks people out. It's crazy. Comic cons aren't like they were in the good old days. That's all I'll say.
Well, that's what I've been saying. Like even over here for years and years and years, it's been the fact of everything's becoming pop culture. Like everybody's selling pop vinyls and anime stuff. Everything's cosplaying that, but we actually have seen a little bit of more of a resurgence of the actual comic sellers coming back to the big cons. Because you'd be lucky if there was like one guy that had all comics. Sometimes it was like, he'll sell toys and statues and pop vinyls, and he'll have like 1 or 2 little short boxes, and that's it. But now you're starting to get like 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 sort of actual full stalls now, which is heaps better now. So coming back.
I love those.
Hey, Drew.
I love those. The stalls that are selling like toys, but then they just have 1 or 2 random short boxes. Because I can go through 1 or 2 random short boxes, but I get overwhelmed when they have like 30 short boxes, and especially if they don't have it ordered. Like if you've got no order to your chaos, like it's just puts me off. Oh my god, it's
Rod the
Reekin. I want to get Rod onto this show coming up soon. So yeah,
you've been notified, Rod.
I want to see what Rod's got in his collection. All right, back to me. This one. So my last round, I catered for Spidey. This time, catering for you, Pete. I bought something that you'll be very proud of me.
Yeah.
Again, I got it from work at a steal of a price. It's my first Transformers toy in over 30 years.
Very cool.
I just couldn't turn it down. So these came out, they were probably about $200 when they came out. And then it's dropped to half, like it's $99 now.
Now I got it for $5.
It was 20% off. And then I got another 20% off that. So I got it for like 60. I got it for about $68. And it's this awesome thing.
Hot Rod. Is it Hot Rod or Rodimus Prime? Rodimus
It's
Prime.
both. It's
Oh,
both.
yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I turned it around. I was like, holy crap. It's both.
Very
My
cool.
goodness. And he's got the Matrix there. Oh my God. And because I'm an unboxing guy now, I'm going to unbox this in a video.
Are you
I'm
gonna start singing "You've Got the Touch"?
Yeah, I might play 5 seconds of it just so I don't get copyright claimed. But, I'm going to set him up posing with that thing, man. It's so awesome.
How much did you pay for that then? Sorry.
So it was, I think I got it for $68.
It's a steal.
So for you, it would have been like £34.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe it. Because I was eyeing it off even when it was at 99. I was like, didn't these used to be double? And they're like, yeah, it's been around for a while now, so it's half the price now.
Yeah.
And then we had the sale, and I was like, how much is that now? And $68. I was like, because I wasn't set on buying it, but when I got that price, I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
This is the only Transformer I need.
Pete's going to be sending a PM offline saying, "Can you get me one now?"
Yeah,
we got one more. It's funny. So Tony from my work, he also wanted one, and he looked at the one I bought. And he looked at the top of the box, and I knew because I left the one with the crappy box on the shelf, and he looked at the box. He's like, "Oh, you bastard! You're buying the one I was going to buy." I was like, "Well, are you buying it?" And he's like, "No." I was like, "Well, then." Shut up. I've got the money now. But oh man, I'm so stoked. Cool. I can't wait to open this up. Because again, I had the original Hot Rod and Rodimus, which are now at my brother's house in his man cave, looking very nice in there. Yeah. But
until you steal them back.
Nah, he stole them fair and square, as I like to say. So
and that War for Cybertron trilogy that's based on, I don't know if you've seen that, it's on Netflix. It's actually really good.
I have not. I actually started. I think I watched half of the first episode, but no, I didn't actually catch it. Cool. I haven't actually seen many of the newer Transformer things. I've only watched the first 3 Transformer movies that came out, like the Michael Bay ones.
That's fine. Yeah,
I like the first one, and then Bumblebee came out, and Bumblebee looked interesting.
Bumblebee was good.
I haven't seen it. It's not on any streaming service. I recently want to watch it because when I saw the trailer for the new Transformers movie, I'm like, man, I am a # Transformers guy. I want to see this Unicron live action. I want to see it. But
Bumblebee's very good. I went into this latest one expecting to fully hate it because I despise the Michael Bay movies. But actually, I had fun with it. It was worth watching. But Bumblebee's great.
Ask my brother if he wants to see because he's a big. I don't know if you saw. I did a room tour video of my brother's man cave, and he's got all these Beast Wars. Beast Wars figures and all that sort of stuff. He's into all of it, so he'll be very proud that I bought a Transformer as well.
Very good. I like that.
All right.
So next one, I've actually shown. I forgot I actually had this, but I actually showed the Spider-Man one back on one of the other collectible show and tells with Simon. But I actually stumbled across this digging through all my stuff today. They basically did. It's called Comic Book Champions, and they were done in a obviously a window box sort of style, but it is actually made purely out of pewter. So it's actually got quite a bit of weight, and this one's actually a Submariner one.
I like cool.
That. With a Golden Age Submariner comic book behind. But yeah, they did a series of these. I can't remember actually how many they did. Well, this actually says series number 2, so I'm assuming they did a couple of series, but these were done, I think, like early 90s or something like that. And I picked up 2 unless there's more and I can't find them. But yeah, they're actually really cool. Sort of looking very, very, very detailed.
What was the other one you brought on? Because you brought one of those on.
I brought on the Amazing Fantasy 15 Spider-Man one. But that actually had a flip sort of sleeve thing as well on the box, whereas this one doesn't. But there you go, Lay. It's got a window.
I you know what? There's one thing right about this whole. How do you feel about that, Pete? How they're boxing up toys with no windows now?
Well, they're reversing it, aren't they? So the
legends are going back to the
legends
windows,
are going
apparently.
back. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So I tend to, when I'm picking up toys, have a good look at the figure because the paint applications are very variable. So I've had, the same figure with great paint and then other figures which are absolutely crap. So to not be able to do that and not be able to see the figure, I don't particularly like, because you don't know what's in the box, I get that it's for the environment, and yes, I support all that and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think in terms of collecting, like the gent in the chat said, it doesn't look as nice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I like to see the actual figure.
Yeah, like the one thing I must say, so now when I bought my first figure that had no window, I was like, well, I'm going to open this because I like obviously collecting stuff in packaging, but I want it to present well.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to buy a statue. Statues never have windows, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy a statue and put the box sealed with a statue inside, right? But figurines, I think they present well in a box, which is why I like it. And just bringing that up when you talked about the paint jobs, that guy Jin I was talking about, who is friends with Mark at Big City Comics, so he will often buy a figurine, or Mark will sometimes buy a figurine, and Mark will say the paint job on this sucks. He'll give it to Jin, and Jin will repaint it the way it looks. So it's a cool little hobby, I think, to get into painting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I mean, like I say, I collect predominantly 1/6 scale figures, which are pricey toys. On average, in terms of dollars, maybe $300, $400 the figure. And I'm always on Facebook seeing people saying, "Oh, they've modified the costume, they've added a wash to this." I'm thinking, I just couldn't bear it. The thought of screwing up a $300 figure by putting too much paint on it or something like that. So yeah, I'm very much in awe of the people who can do that, and I've got the skill to do it. But with these big fat fingers, I can't do it. So.
And at that price point, if you don't like the figure, you're not going to pay that kind of money for it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Sweet.
Okay, we'll stick with your theme then, and we'll go Transformers. So This is one of my favorite Transformers. This is an original again. This is Laserbeak.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I had that.
We've got Soundwave.
I remember that.
His little head there, look.
An original again.
Yeah. And in his chest there, we've got another one of the tapes. The
Ravage.
Yeah. So love this. One of my favorite characters. I love his voice. They did a superb job of him in the Bumblebee movie. That's really one of the big selling points, is that segment on Cybertron for me. So picked this up a little while ago. It's not complete, so I am looking for the cannons that go on them. So I'll be hunting out them. But yeah, I've got a fair few original Transformers, but this is one of my favorites. And as with the He-Man figures, I also picked up the 1/6 scale version. So this is by a company called 3-0. It's absolutely stunning. Yeah, I just love this figure. It's die cast, so it's quite a weight to it. Chest cavity opens, and you get with him.
What's up, Doc?
Whoops, Dr. Von Hoot, just as I'm showing off some Transformers. Perfect time. You also get Ravage with this one as well. Now, the exciting or the good thing about this is you can pose Ravage, if you do it carefully, coming out the chest cavity. But cool. This actually converts, and you can turn it into a cassette and put it in his chest, which is absolutely superb. But yeah, love this. 3-0 do some amazing Transformers figures. I've got their Megatron and Prime and a Bumblebee from them. But yeah, it's a heavy beast. But I don't know, there's something quite sexy about die-cast figures, I think.
Does that transform though?
No, you can't transform this one.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, you can't transform him. Yeah. But yeah, he's one of my favorites. Is good old Soundwave. Yeah.
It's gone in short.
I always remember, I think it was Shockwave, the original figure, and you could actually transform it, turn it into a gun, and it was a water pistol.
Oh, really? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I don't remember being a water pistol.
Yeah.
So I've picked up, relatively recently, an original Generation 1 Megatron, because back when I was a kid, you couldn't get it in the UK because it literally transforms into a gun, not a working gun, but it's very... This was before that added the orange bits to them and stuff like that, so you can identify it as a toy. It looks like a handgun. So I picked him up recently, and he's stunning. I love it.
I was gonna again, we do. So when I went to my brother's recently, we filmed a series of videos, and we did one on Transformers where we just geeked out about Transformers. And I was asking him, out of all the original vintage stuff, is there what's the most expensive one to find? I would imagine it'd be Megatron, right?
Optimus, I would have thought.
Nah, Optimus is easy.
Yeah.
Easy to come by.
Yeah.
I think Megatron's really hard. 'Cause I think we had it down here because I remember my brothers had all the cool ones. So I had what's the other Blaster? See the other radio guy?
Oh yeah.
I had him, and my brothers had Soundwave. They had Shockwave. They had Megatron. They had all the cool ones that I didn't have. But I would imagine that Megatron would be the kind of like Grail piece for the vintage Transformers.
But I always wanted the Dinobots.
Yeah,
I love the Dinobots.
I've got a vintage Grimlock, and he's superb.
Yeah, I still remember the day back. Well, it would have been 80s, right? So my brother's taking me to the toy shop because I think my parents gave me the money to buy a Dinobot, and I wanted Grimlock the most. Went to the toy shop, no Dinobots, like all sold out, and I was just so devastated. So I'm sure I probably spent the money on something else that wasn't as cool as a Dinobot, but yeah, I
remember when they first came out, going to Christmas Day, going to my grandma's house, and she'd bought me and my two cousins all Transformers, but they didn't know which ones to get, so they just got all 8 Transformer. And I remember sitting watching my cousins opening theirs, and they got cool ones like Jazz and stuff like that. And I opened mine, it was friggin' Ironhide, which is one of the worst toys. It's just he hasn't even got a face. He's just got this screen. And I remember just sitting looking at it and thinking, I want that bloody Jazz. But never mind. I got over it. You know.
Getting all flashbacks to all the ones I had now. Yeah, wow. Transformers, so good. Sorry?
Great toys, great figures.
Yeah, back then as well. Like that was like very. Do you remember Machine Men?
Yeah.
Because again, my brother like randomly has one of my Machine Men with all his Transformer stuff. I was like, no one ever talks about Machine Men. Actually, wait a second. What are they called? Are they called like the GoBots? Or something?
GoBots. Yeah,
GoBots. I didn't remember. I just remember Machine Men was the name of the show. But I remember asking someone once. I was like, "Do you remember Machine Men?" They're like, "No." And then they said, "But I remember GoBots," and I was like, "Wait, I think that's the same thing."
Yeah,
cool. Yeah. Very good. Wait, hang on. So what have you shown us tonight, Pete? You did Transformers. You did Mask. Well, you had He-Man. I feel like you Thundercats might be next for you or something.
No. I see, that's my favorite. Out of all of them, Thundercats is my favorite. And I did consider bringing my Sword of Omens because I've got a full size light up Sword of Omens. But there's a chance I'll chop me toe off or something with it. So I thought I better not do that. But yeah, I love Thundercats. Absolutely love Thundercats.
Yeah, I had the toy sword when I was a kid where it lights up the thing. Yeah. Wow, it's just weird because all that stuff I obviously love to skip. I don't remember a lot of it because my memory's so bad. So I remember loving it, and I remember little things about it, but I couldn't tell you that much. Like Transformers, I probably remember the most because the movie, the animated movie, still holds up to this day as one of the best.
But it's funny, the whole nostalgia thing, isn't it? Because I market myself as a He-Man fan, and I collect the toys, and I love the figures and all the rest of it. I can't remember a jot really about the cartoon. I cannot remember the episodes. Do you know what I mean? So it's not really about the quality of the cartoon for me. It's the nostalgia, I guess. It's remembering how I felt watching it back then, I suppose.
It makes you feel young again, right?
Yeah.
All right, very good. All right, we're up to the last one. We've already reached an hour. We've still got one round to go. All right.
I thought we were going to be struggling with only 3 of us.
Well, I also noticed it took us like 15 minutes to get going tonight too. All right. My last one, I've run out of toys to show. That's pretty much all the toys I've bought this week. So the last one, I actually forgot that I had these, and people will know that me and Sarah, our favorite comic book series is Something's Killing the Children. And they released all the masks recently. You could get them through Diamond, which is where the comic books come from. So I actually picked them all up. So you got the black. I bought 2 of the black ones. So one, so if I ever want to cosplay or anything, I open one up as well. And then I wanted a sealed one because I was like, I want these sealed because I'm a collector. So that's the black bandana for obviously what Erica wears, and then you got the white bandana for the pack hunters, I guess you call them. They're hunting groups. And then you got the Scarlet mask, which is the Scarlet masks are like the admin guys. They don't really kill monsters. They kind of just make sure things are running smoothly. The operation's running smoothly. And then I think what do they call this color? I think they call it azure, and they like make all the weapons and stuff like that. But yeah, I had these sitting in my drawer with all my socks and stuff, and I looked at it one day. I was like, I should show these off. I've never really shown them off.
Very cool. I like them. Yeah.
But yeah, there's still I think they haven't done the silver mask, and then there's like an emerald, which is like a green one, which I don't know why they didn't do them all, but yeah, I had to pick those up when I saw those, and they're not cheap for a little bandana. Wait, $20 US, so I don't know, I probably paid like $34 or something for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Very cool. I like them.
But yes, big fan of the comic book series, and can't wait till they do a show.
Yeah, it's on its way, isn't it?
Yes, I really hope it's good, like, because a friend of mine saying, because you know how a year or two ago, like Something's Killing Children was just bonkers, like the prices, it was just very hyped. And my mate was just like, if that show bombs, those prices is going to go, because no one's going to care. So it's funny how a show can make or break a comic book.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I just hope they do it justice, because I mean, I'm a big fan of another series. I don't know if you've heard of Lock and Key, the comic book series.
Yeah, I loved Lock and Key. That was awesome.
Yeah, so they did that on, was it Amazon? I think I can't remember if it was Amazon.
No, it was on Netflix.
Netflix. I thought the first 2 seasons were really strong, but then the last season kind of didn't do it. I still enjoyed
the last. So yeah, the first 2 were definitely the better seasons, but 3 was still enjoyable.
Yeah.
Madspidey's like TheGreyman though. He likes everything that he watches. All right, Spidey, what's your last round, mate?
All right, so just one little small item. Do you remember Franklin Mint?
Yeah.
Simon looks very puzzled. You don't remember Franklin Mint? Franklin Mint was that was like a company that basically did like plates and cups and knives and stuff, and it was all sort of collectible stuff, and it was more focused, I think, towards like adults or older people sort of thing, but they still had some cool stuff. Like I had a whole heap of, like, I remember I had a whole set of the Harley Davidson knives and things like that. There was like 30 or 40 of them or something like that, and I had a whole set of them, and there was all these other weird and wacky ones and things like that.
I remember when I was about 13 having a Franklin Mint Star Trek Best of Both Worlds commemorative plate and thinking I was the coolest kid on the planet, and telling kids I had it, and they're like, "What? Why are you buying a bloody plate? What are you going to do with it?" You know what I mean?
But they were so super detailed and things like that, especially the plates. Like, they were very well made. And the other thing is, being this show, there wouldn't be this show without at least somebody bringing on some kind of weapon. So I actually have my Franklin Mint Spider-Man knife.
That's super cool.
So it's just a plain sort of thing, but there's the Franklin Mint gold stamp there that you usually get on most of the items. We have that, but even the blade itself,
that's sick.
Very cool. Yeah,
has Amazing Spider-Man written on it as well. So, like, as I said, like, I had a whole pile of them, and I sold my whole entire collection of weapons and bits and pieces. But this is actually one of the things that I actually kept. So
nice.
I thought that's comic related. I'm keeping that.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Very cool.
Does that stuff still get made, or is that?
No, they stopped making. There has been a few other companies that have sort of not as big a scale, because Franklin Mint was massive,
huge,
absolutely massive. Like, it was a big operation out of the States, but it literally went worldwide. We actually had a Franklin Mint shop in Chatty, and that's where I used to get a lot of my stuff from and things like that. But I think they went bust in like the mid 2000s or early 2000s or something like that. I think it was. But yeah, like I had probably, I don't know, about probably 50 to 60 different types of knives and stuff like that. They were really cool. I never dived into finding any other Marvel stuff. But that's the only thing that I actually kept that was Marvel. So
very cool.
Loowee!
Very, very cool. What's going on, Loowee? Oh yeah, he saw it. All right, good. Just making sure he didn't miss the Spidey blade.
Yeah.
All right. We're going down. That's it. This is the last thing. Pete's gonna go out with a bang, hopefully.
Well, we'll stick with the theme of weapons. So my favorite character in all of superheroes and all the rest of it is the Mighty Thor. He's my favorite. So I picked this up a while ago. This is a Mjolnir. I've got about 4 different Mjolnirs, if I'm honest. This is I've got a nice solid hard one, but this is sorry. This is this is a plastic one. It's hollow. But the reason I've picked this one up is because this was kind of my 40th birthday present to myself. Is that this one's
the Marvel
double-signed.
Legends one?
Yeah.
The one in the big black boxes.
Yeah.
Right. Double signed.
Double signed by Stan the Man and Chris Helmsworth. So this is verified signatures.
Who signed that first?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Okay. So you didn't get it. So did you buy it signed?
Yeah. Bought it signed.
Okay.
It's certified by the PS. I don't know what the hell they're called. The American.
PSA.
PSA, yeah. And it's got the Excelsior sticker on the back by Stan. So yeah, I've got quite a few Stan Lee signed bits in my collection, but I haven't got anything by Chris Helmsworth. So I was very keen to pick this up. Bought this before he started passing, obviously. So yeah, it's a piece. Do you know when you've sometimes got pieces in your collection that you know that you'll never sell? You'll kind of retain forever.
That's a keeper, as they say.
Yeah. So yeah, like that one. That's one of my favorite pieces.
Not that I say that about all my stuff. So
yeah, that's I do as well. To be honest, yeah.
I was thinking like if Stan Lee signed that first, then Chris Helmsworth just came along and was like, oh, he just had to like steal the show with his big.
Sign over it. Yeah, sign over it.
Big. Yeah. Are you a big signature collector?
I do like a signed item. I've got a lot of signed comics. I've got I nearly brought it on today. I'm a big fan of 66 Batman and Robin, Adam West. So I've got a lovely die-cast Batmobile that's signed by Adam West and Burt Ward. I like those. But yeah, got a lot of comics. You're speaking of Something That's Killing the Children. I've just sold my CJC 9.8, Something That's Killing the Children issue 1, signed by James Tinian. He comes to a lot of conventions around my neck of the woods. So yeah, I think I've sold it at the right time. I'm not sure. I've got a decent price.
As in like that. So is it the A cover?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very nice. Good book.
Yeah, because it started to drop and then it started to go up again because people were talking about the show again. So yeah, they've definitely dropped in value though within the last sort of 18 months or so.
Yeah.
I think the A cover for a 9.8 at one stage hit like $1,500, $2,000 or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was.
This is how stupid that book got, right? So on eBay, you know, Previews magazine, like these things that I order the comics from. There was one on eBay for $1,000.
There's the dust.
Because it had Something's Killing the Children pre-order in it. It was the first appearance, and it's like, you know what? I blame Comic Tom for all that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get the hell out of here with your $1,000 previews book. And then I think last time I checked, he still was selling it for a lot, but he dropped like probably $300 off it or something like that. But yes. All right. Well, that's our show. Thanks heaps, Pete, for coming on, mate. I've been wanting to get you on for a while. And again, you're one of those guys that I can have on many a times. So we'll definitely have you as the returning guest
Good stuff.
In the future. But before we do, how about you give the people what they want and let us know what's coming up on your channel.
Okie dokie. So I do a fair bit of content, do a lot of live shows. I've got a regular Monday live show every week, 8 p.m. UK time, which changes each week. This week we're doing a toy show. I'm live tonight with Ben, the attention-seeking geek, and we're doing This Is My, which is a kind of an interview show. So I'd love to have you guys on that at some point in the future as well. And then I also do lots of midweek content. So I do predominantly normally one comic book related video a week and one toy related video a week. So yeah, lots of stuff.
I'm trying to venture more into the toys now. Like, you know, I've been doing. I've always been a mixture, but I'm really getting into the toy stuff again. So, yeah, very cool. All right, so hang on a sec. Wait. Check this out. What do you got going on?
I see. Stop watching reruns of CJ's channel. I'm the total opposite to Pete, where everything I do is random. Everything I do is off the cuff. I have no regular shows and no regular times. It's just what I feel like doing on the night, and if I do feel like doing it. So, but I'm going to be ramping up just just a little bit my statue collection videos, just ramping up just a little bit because there's a certain thing happening in the community at the moment. You know, hashtag not campaigning. I haven't done one of my artist series for a while, so I'm going to be doing one of those. Shut up, Lee. I'll be doing, what else have I got? I know I've got something. I think I bought some more old school books that I'll be doing an unboxing for. I think that'll be coming hopefully Monday, Tuesday. So I'll have more of my random sort of stuff happening in the next week or so.
Cool. So yeah, if you guys haven't voted yet for the Comic Book Community Awards, make sure you vote Triple G Best Statue Unboxing. I'm joking, mate. Calm down. Anyway, I'm going to be on Cover Slingers tonight over on the Greyman's channel. So that's only about 5.5, 6 hours away. So I've got to pick my books, sleep for about 3 hours, and get up and show those books. So it's going to be fun. So make sure check out Cover Slingers on Greyman's channel in a few hours.
If you want to see an Aussie zombie.
Yeah, right. All right. Thanks everyone who tuned in. Again, make sure you follow both these guys on YouTube and Instagram. The links are below. And until next time, I'm Simple Simon. Tell your friends and keep it simple.